Hello and welcome. You're watching Today in Parliament with me, Aishwarya Kapoor, and here are the Parliament headlines. 6 bills, including finance and appropriation bills in Rajya Sabha, Arun Jaitley to move bills in upper house for consideration and return. Motor Vehicles Amendment Bill, State Banks Repeal and Amendment Bill and Prevention of Corruption Amendment Bill to be moved in the Rajya Sabha. Discussion on reported scams in public sector banks slated in Rajya Sabha. Short duration discussion slated in the upper house. Lok Sabha to debate alleged banking irregularities under a rule that does not entail voting. And bill to deal with economic offenders who leave the country in the Lok Sabha. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley to move a fugitive economic offenders bill. It is the 4th week of the second part of the budget session of Parliament, and last 3 weeks saw multiple disruptions over various issues in both houses. And so far in the legislative business in both houses, the Lok Sabha cleared the payment of gratuity amendment bill, specific relief amendment bill and the finance bill. The Rajya Sabha cleared the payment of gratuity bill without discussion. Several issues held up proceedings for the last 3 weeks, despite the government's repeated assurances that it is willing to discuss all issues, including that of no confidence motions. In the upper house today, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley will move for consideration and return the Finance Bill 2018 that gives effect to the financial proposals of the central government for the financial year 2018-19. Arun Jaitley will also move for consideration and return the Appropriation Number 2 Bill 2018. The bill authorizes a payment and appropriation of certain sums out and from the Consolidated Fund of India for the services of the financial year 2018-19. Arun Jaitley will also move for consideration and return the Appropriation Number 3 Bill 2018. These bills have been passed by the Lok Sabha. Also, a discussion on banking irregularities is slated in the Rajya Sabha today. A short duration discussion is slated on reported scams in some public sector banks and the alleged failure of the banking regulators to check them. Harivansh, Rupa Ganguly and R.K. Sinha will initiate the discussion in the upper house. The issue has been on the list of the business of the Rajya Sabha since 7th of March. The government has agreed for discussions on issues being oppressed by the opposition, but the opposition parties are insisting on a debate on bank frauds under a rule that entails voting. And also in the Lok Sabha today, discussion on banking irregularities is slated to be raised by N.K. Premachandran of the Revolutionary Socialist Party and K.C. Venugopal of the Congress Party. The leaders will raise the issue of alleged systemic irregularities in the banking sector over the years and its impact on the Indian economy. The discussion will be held under Rule 193 that does not entail voting. This issue has been on the business of the lower house since 6th of March, but no discussion has been possible due to repeated disruptions over multiple issues. And in the upper house today, AIA-DMK MP A. Navneet Krishnan is slated to initiate a discussion on the working of the Drinking Water and Sanitation Ministry today. The members will put forth their views on the functioning of the ministry during the debate, and at the end of the debate, Union Minister Uma Bharti will give a reply. All right, let's go across to my colleague Kriti Mishra, who's joining us live from Parliament. Kriti, this is the 4th week of the second part of the budget session of Parliament. Of course, lots of legislative agenda in both houses of Parliament has been pending after 3 weeks of disruption. So what all can we expect in both the houses today?
Well, Aishwarya, last Friday, Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu gave a very didactic message to the members of the Rajya Sabha, saying that past instances cannot be used to justify 3-week-long stalemate. He also expressed deep anguish over disruptions and said that people of India were being let down. In fact, MOS Parliamentary Affairs Vijay Goyal also held parleys with several opposition leaders to end the ongoing impasse. But remember, amid this standoff, the legislative agenda becomes the biggest casualty because in the entire budget session of 2018, the Rajya Sabha was expected to take up around 39 bills. Of course, in the second half of the budget session, it did pass the Payment of Gratuity Amendment Bill. But thereafter, we've seen disruptions, repeated disruptions. Now, in the Lok Sabha had passed the finance bill on March 14th using the guillotine process so that the budget could be passed within the time because the financial year commences on 1st of April.
Yes.
The Rajya Sabha is expected to return the finance bill by 28th March. But remember, this is the money bill, and if the Rajya Sabha doesn't return it within the stipulated time period of 14 days from the date of receipt of the bill, the bills will be deemed to have been passed. Yes. So, of course, important bills are lined up, and besides finance bill, there are also other crucial bills like the anti-triple talaq bill, the OBC bill, which envisages constitutional status for the OBC Commission. There's Motor Vehicles Amendment Bill, the State Bank of India Repeal and Amendment Bill. So certainly a very heavy legislative agenda, Aishwarya, and let's hope that peace prevails in the House so that these pro-people bills could be taken up. Aishwarya?
Right, Kriti. Thank you so much for all those updates there from Parliament. And the Finance Minister Arun Jaitley will move the State Bank's Repeal and Amendment Bill 2017 in the Rajya Sabha. This bill seeks to repeal the State Bank of India Subsidiary Banks Act 1959, the State Bank of Hyderabad Act 1956, and also amend the State Bank of India Act 1955. It also aims to make a rational use of the resources made available by the merger of these banks, leading to a reduction in costs and increase in the bank profits. The Lok Sabha has already passed this bill. Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari will move the Motor Vehicles Amendment Bill 2017 in the upper house. This bill amends the Motor Vehicles Act of 1988 to address issues such as the third-party insurance, regulation of taxi aggregators and road safety. The bill is important due to radical changes in the law, which is as old as 30 years. It proposes high penalties for various traffic offences, 3-year jail for the parents of minors drivers causing fatal accidents, and a 10-fold increase in the compensation for the families of the accident victims. For the deaths in hit-and-run cases, the bill proposes for the government to provide a compensation of 2 lakh rupees or more to the victim's family. Currently, this amount is just 25,000 rupees. And the minimum fine for drunk driving has also been increased from 2,000 rupees to 10,000 rupees in this bill. Also in the Rajya Sabha today, Jitendra Singh will move the Prevention of Corruption Amendment Bill 2013. This bill seeks to amend the Prevention of Corruption Act 1988. The bill makes specific provisions related to giving a bribe to a public servant and giving a bribe by a commercial organization. The bill modifies the definitions and penalties for offences related to taking a bribe, being a habitual offender and also abetting an offence. The powers and procedures for the attachment and forfeiture of the property of the public servants who have been accused of corruption have been introduced in the bill. The Act requires a prior sanction to prosecute serving public officials, and this bill extends this protection to former officials as well. And 5 bills will be introduced in the Lok Sabha today. Maneka Gandhi will move the Trafficking of Persons, Prevention, Protection and Rehabilitation Bill 2018. The bill aims to prevent trafficking of persons, especially women and children, and provides for the care, protection and rehabilitation to the victims and also prosecutes offenders. Arun Jaitley will move the Banning of Unregulated Deposit Schemes Bill 2018. This bill provides for a comprehensive mechanism to ban unregulated deposit schemes and also protects the interest of depositors. Suresh Prabhu will introduce the Airports Economic Authority of India Amendment Bill 2018. The bill amends the Airports Economic Regulatory Authority of India Act 2008. And Ravi Shankar Prasad will introduce the Commercial Courts, Commercial Division and Commercial Appellate Division of High Courts Amendment Bill 2018 and the Arbitration and Conciliation Amendment Bill 2018. And Finance Minister Arun Jaitley will move the Fugitive Economic Offenders Bill 2018 in the Lok Sabha today. The bill provides for measures to deter fugitive economic offenders from evading the process of law in India. And the aim of the bill is to tighten the noose on economic offenders and the faulters who flee India. The bill will empower the government to confiscate any property owned by such a person in India. The proposed law will be applicable in cases where the value of offences is over 100 crore rupees. The aim of the bill is to re-establish the rule of law and also force the fugitive economic offenders to return to India to face trial for their scheduled offences. The bill also aims to help banks and other financial institutions to achieve higher recovery from financial defaults committed by such fugitive economic offenders. And in the Lok Sabha today, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley will also move the Chit Funds Amendment Bill 2018 in the Lok Sabha. This bill seeks to further amend the Chit Funds Act 1982. The Act regulates chit funds and prohibits a fund from being created without the prior sanction of the state government. The bill seeks to use the words a fraternity fund under the 1982 Act for a chit business. This seeks to distinguish it from prize chits, which are banned under a separate law. The Act specifies that a chit will be drawn in the presence of at least 2 subscribers. The bill seeks to allow these subscribers to join via video conferencing. Now, under the Act, the foreman is responsible for conducting the chit. He is entitled to a maximum commission of 5% of the chit amount. The bill seeks to increase the commission to 7%. That's all in this edition of Today in Parliament. Do stay tuned. The proceedings of the Upper House are going to begin in a short while from now. Thanks for watching.